I love the idea of a Christmas movie. I love the idea of a guy who had a problem with Christmas, learning to accept Christmas. And I also had the idea to put a lot of music in it. I'm from Austin, love Austin music. And when we already started a movie with Willie Nelson and Lyle Lovett in it, then of course we ended up with Harry Connick Jr. It just seemed like just such a natural thing to just put every musician in Austin in the movie. And so I think that added a lot to the movie as well. So so when I read the script, I saw kind of a vision of what the movie could be, and I think that's sort of, I think we got us there. I love everybody in it. Harry had a very tough job. Fortunately, Harry's a very likable job. On paper, this guy could be not a very likable person, and that's something we really talked about. And so Harry did, I think, is some of his best work I've ever seen by being a guy who's a very likable guy. Very often, he's the butt of the joke. I mean, so many beats of this movie are Harry sort of, being plastered. It's like a pie in the face with Christmas. He's constantly facing Christmas and people's love of Christmas, and it just, and he gets this glazed look, and that's so much. There's a number of, like, a series of musicians that come to the door with Christmas for him, and they're all so excited, and his family's so excited, and he's just, he's dying. He just wants out of here. But we play that for humor, and so that's very tricky stuff. Harry has this great way of, he's very likable, and yet he can also kind of play the butt of the joke in a strange way. So he's great. I mean, I've talked about Connie, how she gets the award for doing the most with the least, as far as her character on paper was fairly thin and not very likable, and she just did a wonderful job making this Harry's wife, who understands and loves him and wishes she could help get over these problems, and she can't, but she's going to do the best she can, and she loves her kid and she loves her husband, and and he's still a great man in many ways. And Chandler is just an amazing kid. I mean, he's a kid who had to go from there's so many of my scenes, or some of my favorites are his, where he goes from this happy kid to a kid who's really goes through a pretty tough time. It goes through sort of the same thing Harry has gone through, which helps Harry find his own cure, so to speak. I'm sort of known for films, I guess, that touch people's hearts, and I like to think this movie does that. I like to think that it earns it. I like to think that this movie is very emotional, and yet it's not saccharine or manipulative. But I think it's all of its sentiment and its heart is earned, I think, and that we want Harry to learn to love Christmas, because I think we all love Christmas.